Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we will be reviewing Ultimo coffee out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I forgot the name for a second. I'm currently outside of the location on Mifflin Street, and I'm going to be trying their La Cometa washed Guatemala. Let me go ahead and take a sip. And our Ultimo logo. Alright, let's talk about Ultimo. So, it looks like... Well, I've been familiar with them for a very long time, and it's kind of cool I finally get to visit their shop out here in Philadelphia. They have actually quite a few locations now, but once upon a time when I was reading coffee articles back in the day, they kept coming up as one of the best coffee shops in the entire country. And they were using counterculture, and they had been using counterculture for the longest time until more recently they had stepped out and started roasting their own coffee beans. And I've kind of talked a brief bit about coffee shops that decide they're going to start roasting themselves. And I have mixed opinions on it. Denver seems to be a huge hub for making that change over to roasting their own beans. And some have had success and some haven't. So it's really curious and interesting to try a place that decides they're going to go from a lot of praise and acclaim to trying their own thing. And most of the time I respect it. And they just had the one drip option, and I'm also going to go a little tangent on this one. I really appreciate them having a single origin drip option. I've had a little bit of frustration with a lot of places that keep only offering blends, and I feel like most of the time your single origin is your best foot. You always want to put your best foot forward for people that are going to be getting their coffee black. People like myself, and there are plenty of people like me that just want to see what your single origin tastes like. So, obviously my frustration with Reanimator and some other places I've been to, some other places I've reviewed, but I'm very happy that they were able to serve me this cup of coffee. And I think I already mentioned they have quite a few locations across the city, which is very interesting to me. But I think I'm comfortable going ahead and discussing this coffee right now. I love Guatemala's. I think if you ask me what I would always have on my shelf, one thing I would love is a Guatemala pretty much eternally on my shelf. This coffee right here, some great vanilla to it. Great vanilla and some decent chocolate, balancing out really nicely. And a tiny bit of, I'm getting some lingering fruits underneath it as well. Kind of like winey, but there's no I'm not getting any acidity, which is really nice. And if you're looking for something that's kind of traditional chocolatey coffee, then this is very nice. I really like this coffee actually. So it's the best cup of coffee I've had in Philadelphia. Granted, the bar's been set a little low as of right now, but I think if you can get something, and I don't want to use the word basic, but something that's kind of basic, like that traditional, normal, whether it be a Colombia, a Guatemala, even a Mexico, something like that, that's very neutral, then it's a very good sign for your coffee shop. This isn't going to blow you away with being the best, most amazing cup of coffee you've had, but for traditionality and a, what should say, dependable cup of coffee, then I really enjoy this one. So they hit the mark for me. I think, you know, I wasn't overly impressed by the counterculture I had, so maybe it is for the better that they've started roasting their own, but I'd be very curious to try a couple more of their coffees. I'm going to put this cup of coffee in the recommend, and I'm definitely going to put Ultimo in the recommend category. Best coffee shop I've had in Philadelphia so far. So this right here has been a review of Ultimo coffee. Thank you for watching.